Hello, my name is Nathan. I go by Peteparker, and every week I do comic book reviews because that's the rule around my house. If I want to keep buying them, I gotta keep reviewing them online. So this review is going to be for Uncanny X-Men number 539, written by Kieran Gillen, and the artwork on this is by Ibram maybe, with an I, Roberson. So let's talk about this. If you like Hope and her band of weird little mutants that are kind of like New Mutants of her own, then you'll like the first half of this story. I do not like them. I tried to get into that book and really didn't like it, and I find these characters to be kind of they're rough. They're rough to read. So I just go ahead and skip all that and go straight to the main part of the story, which is Hope is kidnapped while she's trying to be normal, and this guy, Frank Bohannon, who's named the Crimson Commando, has lost his mutant powers, so he looks old and crappy, and all of his parts aren't working very well anymore. So he wants Hope to fix his powers, and she refuses, and Wolverine helps her escape for a while, and then he catches up to him, the Crimson guy or whatever, and blows up Wolverine, which that's a really cool picture right there of him being blown up, and she was ditching him so he could heal. And then it's really gruesome how the Crimson Crusader, or whatever his name is, kind of tortures Hope and takes off parts of her face. That's pretty awesome. And then Wolverine, of course, comes back. And then they have a long talk, Wolverine and Hope, about, why do you care about me, or why are you so mean to me? And he's like, well, because I have to kill everybody who has powers like yours, blah, 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 right? So, not really the greatest story that I ever looked for, nothing that I was hoping to really see. There is a little bit of interaction between Wolverine and Hope that's really interesting. Semi-interesting, right? I could have probably lived without it. I see her so much as a soldier. I'm still stuck on the version of her that came out of the Cable miniseries, that I don't want her to change. I don't want her to be any different than that, where she's a hard soldier that doesn't really understand the social aspects of regular life because she's been brought up to fight her whole life, where she's cold and tactical and all that. And then, this is quite a different version of Hope, and she's maturing and changing and going to be somebody completely different by the end, I'm sure. And Wolverine's kind of perspective on it's interesting, but I really don't see him being attached to anybody like this so quickly that he's so worried about. It's really kind of lame. The cool part is the Crimson Commando guy. He's very vicious, which is awesome, and he's very calculated. He knows the capabilities of Wolverine, and he's figured out how to do this. Now he still loses in the end, which is kind of too bad. But that's okay. That he was pretty cool for the few minutes that he's there. And along with that, Hope got shot in the legs, and then she got her nose cut off, and he was about to pop out her eyes or something like that. And I didn't really realize that her powers are really just mimicking other mutants' powers, and Wolverine was close enough for her to mimic that and get all her face back and her legs and stuff. That's kind of like playing, loose and fast with the rules of mimicking powers or whatever, right? Or what's typically been happening, or whatever her powers normally are. I thought she made other people have control of their powers or something like that. I thought her powers were still kind of unclear also, right? Apparently she's just a mimic kind of thing, and with greater abilities beyond that. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the development. So overall, this was an alright issue. Really wasn't great. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I'm sure there's a point to it a little bit, kind of showing, Hope and Wolverine's interactions. Maybe it helps her decide what team she's going to be on after Schism or something. But I didn't really need to read it, and I really didn't need to read the beginning backstory of Hope's lame team. But maybe that's just because I don't like them very much at all. Probably, I've got the scene on the beach of Wolverine fighting with that dog boy man 100 times now. Seems like 100 times. I don't need to ever see it again, I don't think. So there you go. 3 out of 5, Uncanny X-Men number 539, and that's it. If you want to check out my other reviews, they're under Spidey207 on YouTube or Peteparker everywhere else. Otherwise, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.